Okay, welcome to our last video on the conjugate root theorem. So this one it's a pretty hard question, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of one of those questions that you might even have to learn off, just because it's really hard to come up with it on the spot. But if you just learn the first trick, you don't have to learn the answer off, just learn the kind of method, just the one or two tricks, and then the rest of it will just come to you. It should be okay. So if they ask you something like this, find the three roots of z cubed minus 1 is equal to 0. So you're kind of looking at this saying, like, where do I even start? So I'll just show you where to start, where the next step takes you, and the rest of it then is just kind of finishing it out. Isn't too bad, but it's just starting it is the hard bit. Okay. So if z cubed minus 1 is equal to 0, then basically the first root, okay, so 1 is that z is equal to 1, because z cubed is equal to 1 then, and then if you just take that z is the cubed root, so there is a button in your calculator, and that's basically what number do you multiply by itself 3 times to get 1, and that's also equal to 1. So there is your first root, okay. So sorry, I just got rid of that. So there's your first root, that z is equal to 1, okay? Now you're pretty much halfway done. This also means that z minus 1, so that's the root, is the factor. So z minus 1, z equal to 1 is a root, then z minus 1 is a factor. I'll just write that beside there. Root and factor, okay? Next thing you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to divide, I'll go blue, z minus 1 into z cubed minus 1, and then you'll find your other factors, okay? But you can't do it right like this. You're going to have to change it a little bit. So we want to do this so we can find the other factors, and once we have the other factors we can find the other roots, okay? So I'm going to just rewrite it like this, and you might have seen this before. Z cubed plus 0z squared plus 0z minus 1. Okay, so this is completely the same as this. We're just writing it like this so it fits kind of our method better. So the way we do long division, it kind of has to all fit into the right way, and this is just so that it fits the right way. We haven't actually changed it. 0z squared is just 0, so it's the exact same in both cases. Okay, I'm going to go with pink just to finish the question out. So z into z squared is going to give it, sorry, z into z cubed is going to be z squared, and then we multiply z squared by each case, so it's the exact same as any other kind of long division we've done. So this is going to be z cubed minus z squared, okay, and then we're going to change the signs, okay, plus and minus. So here we're going to have z squared plus 0z. Now we go z into this term here, so z into z squared is going to be plus z just, okay, and then multiply z by these things here, so we're going to have z squared minus z, so I'll just go down a little bit, okay, and again we're going to change the signs. I'll just go back to purple. So this plus z and 0z is just going to be z, and bring the minus 1 down now, it's going to be minus 1. And now z into z is going to be plus 1 by everything here is going to be z minus 1. You're going to be left with 0. Okay, so this is our new factor. Okay, yeah, so this is one of the factors of z cubed minus 1, and this is the other factor. Okay, and technically this is two factors because there are two factors in this. So we're going to basically work that bit out next. So we have z squared plus z plus 1. Okay, so now the next step is to do this. So if we have z squared plus z plus 1 is equal to 0, we can find the roots by using the quadratic equation. Okay, so we're going to say z is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So quadratic formula, nothing new here. We're just going to work through this. Z is equal to minus 1, because b is 1 because there's nothing before the z, plus or minus 1 squared, which is just 1, minus 4ac, so a is 1 and c is 1, so it's just going to be 1 minus 4, all divided by 2. That's going to be z is equal to minus 1 plus or minus, so that's going to be minus 3, so the square root of minus 3, divided by 2. I'm going to have to keep drawing down on this side now. So now we're going to have z is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 3i over 2. Okay, so minus the square root of minus 3 is going to be the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of minus 1, which we can change into this here. Okay, so now we're going to have our two final roots are going to be Z. I'm actually going to do that in a different color. Control Z and blue, we'll say. So now our two roots are going to be Z minus 1 over 2 plus the square root of 2, so square root of 3 over 2I, and it's just easier if I write these out instead of say it because they're kind of difficult to say. Okay, so we said plus and then minus. So those are our two roots. Okay, no, I'm going to redo that. Those are our two roots, and then we have the other root is Z is equal to 1, and yeah, basically there you have it. Okay, so I'll go back to the start. So when I find the three roots of this polynomial here, so there's going to be three roots because it's Z cubed. So the first root is Z is equal to 1. Then once we know that, we can find the factor, and we can use that to find the other roots, which are this one here and this one here. So it does look quite messy, but it's kind of a special case. They might ask on the exam, but it's just kind of, it's one that you basically have to learn off by heart. Is probably the best way. Just learn the first trick. Just learn this step here, that Z is equal to 1 is the first root, then Z minus 1 is the factor, and then you divide Z minus 1 into Z cubed minus 1, just like this. And then after that, the rest of that you should be able to do no problem. Okay, and I'll just make one last quick point that in this question here we dealt with, what did I do, red, Z cubed minus 1 is equal to 0. They can also just as easily ask Z cubed minus 8 is equal to 0, and in this case the first root will be Z is equal to 2, the factor will be Z minus 2, and you'll go through it the exact same way, except it'll be Z minus 2, and in here it'll be Z cubed minus 8. Okay, so I won't go through that example, but it's going to be the same. You guys can do that yourselves. But this is just kind of the hardest case you're going to get, or the conjugate root theorem. We'd recommend learning it off. Okay, hope this helped.